What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'd like to discuss a controversial change that has been made to Lost Ark with the most recent patch in Russia last week, and that is the fact that now you need more Silian tickets in order to do the cube, in order to do the crafting dungeons, corridor of trials, etc. Most of the content that is available through the Silian command board, except of course the Tower of Challenge, which now it doesn't cost any tickets in order to do, when before it used to cost one. Throughout this video I would like to share my opinion on this change, and I would like to share two other completely different opinions than mine, because whenever I see such a controversial change done to the game, and I see that the community is reacting in this way, and then there's part of the community reacting in a totally different way, I go and talk to my friends. I have real life friends which also play Lost Ark, and if they don't play it currently, they have played it a lot in the past, so they have a very good idea and they think completely differently than I do. So in this video I want to share all of these opinions and let you decide for yourself if this is a good change, an okay change, or a bad change, whatever you think. First, let's get some basics out of the way, because I also want those of you who are new or newer to the game to understand what I'm talking about and understand if this change has a huge impact or a little impact. I want you to have a good idea, not only those of you who have played and you know everything about the game. So fact number one is that Mail.ru did not do this. This is not because Mail.ru is an evil, greedy publisher. This is happening the same in Korea, where an entry to the cube costs 3 Silian orders, an entry to the crafting dungeons costs 2, etc. So it comes from Korea, it comes from Smilegate. Of course, the whole change came in Korea obviously much later if you look at their bigger pictures than it came in Russia. When Korea got Yorn, for example, as a continent, this thing was not there, so they got it later. However, it is very important to mention that Russia is bringing a lot of good things also from Korea in terms of faster updates. Not things that you can see necessarily, like, hey, there's always new raids faster in Russia than there were in Korea. Not only this, but quality of life changes, UI changes, systems in the game that have been changed in Korea to be better, and they're being brought in Russia much sooner than they have been released in Korea, obviously because they developed them. Class balance patches, they come a lot faster in Russia than they come in Korea. So they're bringing a lot of stuff from Korea that is not released at the same time as Korea did, which is perfectly normal. And I'm just saying though, the fact that Korea released it so late in their roadmap, this change with the Silian tickets command board, makes me think that maybe it was released in Russia just a little bit too soon. I'm just saying a little bit too soon. The second and last fact is gold is the most, bar none, important resource in Lost Ark. It's not Acrasium, it's not shillings, it's not Feathers of Resurrection, it's gold. With gold in Lost Ark you can do everything, almost everything that you can possibly imagine. You want gear? You can get it with gold. How? You pay people to carry you in raids. You pay people to win you PvP matches. Very simple. You get faster gear in terms of PvP because you get more tokens for a win than you get from a loss, which you would have plenty of if you just play alone without paying a guy, and you always are guaranteed to finish that particular raid and get the tokens or the pieces of accessories from it that you need in order to craft your raiding gear. So these kind of things you can do with gold. On top of everything, gold is used for everything on the broker. Everything that you buy from there needs gold, including things that give you a distinct advantage in PvE content, such as seal books, such as runes, etc. So mega important currency. All the consumables that you use, you can buy them with gold. Again, makes it absurdly important to have a lot of gold. The more gold you have, the more godlike you are in game, and the more you can play people, and the more things you can do that save you time or give you this or give you that faster. So gold, super important. On top of everything, you can even buy Acrasium with gold. How? Well, you have gold, you buy blue diamonds from people who sell them, that they've they've got it with real money and now sell them on the auction house. And then with those blue crystals, you can buy anything you want from the Mari's secret shop. There's plenty of Acrasium there to be bought. Also, on top of everything, you can buy some very important currencies like ancient magic or black tooth rings, etc. There's boxes that cost blue diamonds on the cash shop, which you can buy with gold. And of course, not to speak of the occasional once or twice a year event with the Matryoshkas, where you can buy an infinite number of Acrasium if you have enough gold put aside or farmed. So I'm gonna say it for the second time and the last time, gold is the most important thing in general in Lost Ark, the most important currency by far. Now, with the facts behind us, let's talk a little bit about the change. And we're only gonna focus in this video on the cube dungeon. We're not gonna focus on the crafting one or the corridor of trials. We care about those also because they impact the economy, how many mats people can get from crafting and craft pots with it. So there's gonna be fewer pots or more expensive pots on the program. This is a completely different story. This is economy. This is for a different kind of video. We don't have time in this one. So we just focus on the gold, on the cube and the gold gain from this whole thing. To be remembered that the cube, farming the cube, was one of the top 3 best ways of getting gold in Lost Ark as a free-to-play player or as a subscription player, a premium player. Now with this change, where it costs 3 times as much tickets to enter and do this particular run of the cube, you always have to remember that even though it costs 3 times as much, you get double the gold. So it doesn't really compensate, right? It's not exactly as it used to be before, but you get double the gold for triple the entry tickets. And the last thing surrounding this particular change before I get into the opinions is the fact that the Silian tickets are also account bound now. When before, every single one of your level 30 plus alts used to get 3 Silian tickets per day, and entering the cube cost 1 Silian ticket. Now all of your account gets just 3 tickets and it costs 3 to enter the Silian, the cube dungeon once. So this is already a huge impact on people's accounts. Why this change was made is simply because there is too much to do in the game at the moment in Korea, because of course this game comes from Korea. So there is too much to do and people were abusing this. Is this a change that could potentially raise question marks to the players that, is that really the reason why they did it? Because people are too busy doing other things, there's too many raids, there's too many daily content to do or weekly content. Is that really, or is it because they wanted people to get fewer gold so that they would feel a little bit more inclined to deposit real money and buy gold like that, or buy the extra gold? I personally believe, and I'm just being honest here, that this change was actually made with a good intention behind them. I believe that restricting to 3 Silian tickets per day per account was actually made thinking about the Korean situation, how they are there, how much grinding they do there, and coincidentally this also came in Russia, and coincidentally, or maybe part coincidentally, this is also a change that could potentially stimulate some wallet warriors to think, God damn man, now I cannot make so much gold, I need to deposit. So I get both sides of the stories, and I'm kinda a little bit in between this, but leaning a little bit more to the fact that they've made this for good reason, because they're looking at the Korean economy and thinking about that mostly. Now let me share with you these 3 points of view that I keep telling you about. First, mine. I was absolutely furious when I saw this change. I was like, god damn this game, I quit. It wasn't that tragic, I'm exaggerating, but I'm just saying I'm like very emotional guy, so I work super happy 1 hour, super sad the other hour. So whenever I see these controversial changes being done and get upset about them, I go and call my real life friends. They also are playing Lost Ark, or if they're not playing that much now, they used to play it hardcore in Korea, so they know kind of what's happening and what impact things have, and they think completely differently than I do. So when I was upset, they were not. So let me tell you another point of view from one of my 2 friends. He was like, this is a good thing. Now I have more free time to do other things in the game, other things that also give me gold, amongst other nice goodies. Like for example, the new dungeons that are coming out or that came out also in Russia. These are things that have the potential to give you gold. These are things that are pleasant, enjoyable, and this friend of mine is very much into doing a lot of extra things that the game offers, and other games as well that he has played. He's very much into achievements. He's very much into doing, let's say, more raids than needed per day. He just enjoys that particular content. He just enjoys the combat, the style, the failing, the successes. So he loves these things. Now, before, he was obviously forced to do 3 cube runs every day because of the gold and because of their importance. Right now that he has only 1 account, and right now that he gets 3 tickets per account, he is really happy actually. And he was telling me how pleasant this feels for a normal player, for a more of a relaxed kind of player in Lost Ark. That is really nice because it opens up a lot of free time for you. And he sees this change as something positive to the casual player more than the hardcore player. Now, in his opinion, he has been liberated, you know, mentally from the stress and the grind that is doing these 3 cube runs every day for all of your life just because you have to. He's really happy about it, and that's his opinion. A third opinion and a third point of view I want to share is from a second friend of mine that plays the game, and he's a maniac. He's not interested in absolutely anything besides being rich in games. He was always like this. I don't know what's wrong with him. He doesn't care about, you know, getting that gear and this gear. He only gets it if it helps him be more rich or something similar. So in Lost Ark he's doing the same. He has 4 different accounts, and with these 4 different accounts he is saying that this is now the key to doing the cube. Different accounts means that you level up different characters on those accounts. You get them to 50 and you get them to an appropriate item level that they could finish every time in a pre-made setup. Of course, you can finish every time the diamond version of the cube, the last box, and then you get it like that. So he was telling me that yes, for a guy that really likes to farm gold and be rich in games, this is definitely something inconvenient, but it's just inconvenient because of the fact that he keeps having to quit the game and relog on a different account and log in his characters from there, 1 per account, and he chooses which one, and then he does the cube with that one. He was also saying, and he's right here, the fact that there was little gain in having all of your characters on 1 account anyway, because you cannot really share anything that would, let's say, speed up gearing on your alt from your main, right? Yes, gold is shared, the diamonds in the cash shop are shared, but it really doesn't make a difference, because if you spend diamonds on each different character, then you still have to deposit real money on more real money on 1 account than a bit of real money on 4 different accounts. So he said it's kind of the exact same thing now, only you need to have 7 different accounts instead of 7 different characters on 1 account. So having this said, now you know 3 different points of view. I myself was suspicious. One of my friends, which is a more laid back player, was really happy of the release in the pressure that the cube had on him, and pressure that we as his friends were putting on him. Come, let's go, we need a bard, let's do this. So he was always under pressure in that sense. He couldn't really do the things that he really loved in game and made him, you know, really happy. And then there's a third opinion of a guy who is crazy about making money in game, and he said that it's kind of the same, only more inconvenient. You need 7 different accounts instead of 7 different alts. I'm always interested in what you guys think about the stuff that I talk about in my videos. Please let me know in the comments below. I read them, I think about them, and sometimes they make me laugh, sometimes they make me cry, but that is life. In the meantime, guys, I wish you lots of love. Thank you so much for watching, and see you really soon.